Hello and welcome to a special edition of Sports Weekly on CN100. I'm Perry Williams. This week, Jim Blaney sits down one-on-one with 2012 Illinois Miss Basketball Morgan Tuck of Bolingbrook. From her early days of Panthers basketball to her current status as a University of Connecticut Husky, you'll learn all about this outstanding student athlete. Besides Ms. Basketball herself, you also hear insight from Morgan's friends, family, and former head coach Anthony Smith. So don't go away. After the break, Jim Blaney talks with 2012 Ms. Basketball Morgan Tuck. Sports Weekly will return right after this on CN100.
You're watching the Comcast Network, CN100 Chicago.
Welcome back to Sports Weekly on CN100. I'm Perry Williams. Last spring, Bolingbrook's Morgan Tuck was named Illinois' 2012 Ms. Basketball. The University of Connecticut recruit averaged nearly 28 points and more than 10 rebounds a game in her fourth and final season playing varsity ball for the Raiders. Recently, CN100's Jim Blaney sat down with Morgan at the place where her playing career began, the Bolingbrook Recreation and Aquatic Complex.
It's kind of an interesting venue we're in today for this, because really we're at the what's called the BRAC here in Bolingbrook. It's a Park District facility, very nice. And this is where Panther basketball started for you. So what was it like that when you first started playing Panther rec basketball? Did you have any idea the path would lead to where it's led?
I had no idea. I wasn't very good at basketball. I kind of sat on the bench and didn't really play that much. But yeah, I had no idea. But when I was, starting off here with Panthers, and my dad was coaching, and I really did not think that basketball was going to be my sport.
What was the first thing that you ever signed the girls up for? What sport was it? Were they all enthusiastic about it? So where did it begin?
Well, I think the first sport was T-ball.
No,
Take it back, not sports.
It was dance.
Yeah,
was
the
dance.
first, well, I don't consider dance sports, but the actual first incident where she had to move up was when Taylor started dance. I think Taylor was 4, and you had to be 4 to start. And every day in dance, Morgan would be sitting out in the window looking in, crying. So one day the dance instructor finally let her come in. So that's really when it started, where she started playing up, following her sister Taylor.
One of the first times I ever saw you with a basketball in your hands wasn't even in a game. I was at the Bull Sox Academy watching my kids play, and you and Taylor, your sister, happened to be sitting right in front of me, waiting for your game to start. And you each had a basketball, and both of you were dribbling the basketball behind your legs, underneath the bleachers, carrying on a conversation. And this went on for about 30 minutes, and I'm watching this thinking, okay, there's something a little different here. Where did that desire to just have the basketball in your hands and just do what it takes to get good, where does that come from?
I think it comes from my dad. I mean, he played in high school and college, and he showed us his highlight tape so many times, it just kind of got ingrained in our head that we should be a basketball player. But I think, he definitely taught us the fundamentals and, just got us interested in basketball.
Well, for Morgan, she always wanted to play basketball, well before she could even play. I mean, as long as I remember, she's wanted to play basketball. With Taylor, it was obvious where she made the choice for basketball was in middle school because she wanted to run track too. And then when they started conflicting, she had to choose. And so she clearly picked basketball. For Morgan, I think Morgan did all of the other sports. She enjoyed them, but she's always had the passion to play basketball.
I can remember Morgan as an 8th grader being around the Bolingbrook program. How many times in a game did you look down the bench and say, man, I wish I could stick a uniform on her and get her in the game even now?
Every game. Every game that year there, we would dream like, next year, Morgan Tuck's coming. Next year, Morgan Tuck's coming.
From the time she stepped on the floor as a freshman basketball player, you knew this was a special player. So you as a coach, how did you make sure you tapped into that talent and made sure to help her develop as a player to make sure she reached her full potential?
Morgan Tuck was a player that always wanted to be the best kid. 8th grade, she played with us that whole time, summertime. And she came and she was our best player then. And we knew then, I mean, she was going to be good. She was poised, and she just wanted to be the best. And that's just what it takes is a child just to have that in them. And she definitely had that it factor to I want to be great.
You were young when you won Miss Basketball as a freshman, obviously. How did you handle that?
I think, my team and my coach and my parents helped. It definitely told me not to let it get to my head and to make sure that I keep working hard to try to get it again. And I mean, I think it was a big deal, but at the same time, I definitely didn't expect anything like that. And I mean, I knew there was Miss Basketball, but I didn't expect it as a freshman or even close to that. But I think, the people who are around me, they helped me, making sure I keep working hard and just making sure I stay level-headed.
When you were playing with Morgan, how did you make sure that she was best able to utilize her talents? Because you were the one with the basketball in your hands. And you were the one who had the responsibility of making sure that everybody got to fulfill and play the game to the best of their ability. Where did you want Morgan to get the basketball? Where did you want to get it to her so she could be the most effective?
I would give it to her anywhere on the court. I knew if she rebounded, she can push it and I can run the floor, or if someone else rebounded, I can get the outlet and run to her. She's just that type of player. She's so versatile, and I can give it to her, in the post, short corner, on top of the key at three-point line, and be confident, know that she's going to make the right decision.
You get a letter in the mail from USA Basketball saying, hey, we'd like you to come to Colorado Springs and try out for the U.S. national team. What is that moment like?
That was really unexpected. I didn't even think about USA Basketball when I first got it. That just wasn't something that went through my mind, but when I got it, I was very excited.
It's very surreal because you get, I think as a parent, you look at your children as they're your children. I mean, the way that I look at Morgan or I look at Taylor is no different because of what they do, the sports and all of that. But USA Basketball, that was big. And so I remember thinking, oh my gosh, and first you're thinking, oh, this is going to be a wonderful opportunity. And then, you start thinking, oh God, I just hope she makes it, because at that time, the work ethic was there. She was working very hard, and you just, you hope that she's good enough to, out of those 38 people that get selected, that she'll make that 12-man roster.
And then she goes out to the USA Basketball camp in the summer and then tears her ACL, which I had to imagine is just an awful moment for a parent.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's something you don't wish on anybody's kid, but they always say things happen for a reason. Unfortunately, it happened, but again, it taught her how to come back, work hard.
When you went down on the court in Colorado Springs, what was the first thought that ran through your mind?
The first thought was I wasn't going to make the team because it was probably like halfway through tryouts, and it was the first time being at USA Olympic Center, and that was the first thing I thought was I wasn't going to be able to play for the rest of the tryouts and make the team.
We're all assuming that, it's a one-year injury. She's going to miss her sophomore year, but yet you were back by December, correct?
I was back by actually beginning of November when the season started.
How in the world did you get back that quickly? What was it that may have been unique about your injury or the way you were able to do rehab that you were able to get back in just a few months' time?
I think I got hurt at a great place. I was at the Olympic Training Center, so they have the best of the best medical team there, the best things to do for rehab. So I think I started off pretty good, and I think after surgery, I just made an effort to make sure I did my rehab every day, did everything the doctors told me, and just made sure I was taking care of what I need to take care of.
Morgan Tuck just worked at it every day. I remember even saying, okay, well, Morgan calling me up like, Coach, I don't have a ride to rehab. So guess what I did? I got in my car, I took it to rehab. And just to see a kid that age just work at it that hard, every day, and then next thing you know, she's back playing.
What kind of parenting was involved in helping Morgan through that injury?
It's more of a nurturing and encouraging her to do the things that when it's hard to do. I mean, I remember the day after surgery, and my concern was, she's never been cut on, she had never had surgery. So it was before the surgery of going, oh my God, there's no way to prepare your child for the pain they're really gonna feel. So you say all the right things as a mom or a parent, and it's gonna be okay, and on and on. But the day after surgery, it was really just hard for me because, here I've got to help her do exercises. And, you know, and I knew how tough she was in that day because I'm sitting in the family room and she can't move her leg on her own. She's telling me what I need to do, and tears are just streaming down her face. And I knew then, you know, inside, it made me want to say, well, you know, never mind, we'll do it later, you know, just as the mom. But I knew then just how tough she was. And I thought, you know what, if she can do this, she can do anything.
Morgan Tuck fakes the shot, moves in closer, spin move, and that's why she was Miss Basketball last year as a freshman.
Boy, nice head fake. Then she gets the defender up, takes the baseline, easy layup.
Talk about playing basketball with your sister, because from what your mom and dad both told us, that you and Taylor was older, got to sign up for stuff earlier because she was the right age, but yet you had to sit and wait. But it sounds like you were very bad at sitting and waiting.
Yeah, I was. I definitely started with the dance. I kind of threw fits not to be in the class, so eventually I got in the class. So, I mean, I think eventually I always kind of did what Taylor did. I mean, that's who I looked up to. She was my older sister, so what she did, that's what I wanted to do. And I think playing with her, I mean, she was one of the biggest influences on my life outside of basketball and in basketball. And I think she definitely made me the player I am today because we would go work out together. We would talk about the game. She was the one that was always there if I had an issue in practice or anything like that. So I think if Taylor wasn't there, I don't think I would be as good because she was the reason why I was playing up higher levels so I could play with her. So I didn't have to be on a different team playing against younger girls. I was always playing with her, and I think that it definitely helped in the long run by me playing against older people. And I mean, I don't know if I would have done as many sports if it wasn't for her, because what she did, I wanted to do. She was always better at all the different sports, from soccer, volleyball. She was always the better one, so that always drove me to try to do better than she did because, I mean, you always want to do better than your sibling.
Who wins the games in the driveway?
I do. She used to.
How long did it take before you started winning the majority of that?
7th grade is when I got taller than her, so that's when I got a little better at basketball, and that's when I actually could beat her.
And because of the dance, you had the footwork, right?
Yes.
You had that all down? We keep hearing about this dancing ability, so
Yeah.
grade the dancing ability.
I mean, I can't dance either, so I can't really grade
Well, I
her
didn't ask
dancing
you to grade
ability.
yourself. Grade her. I mean,
Morgan's decent. I'd say she's a
we're here
decent
to dish
dancer.
on her. That's-
She's a pretty decent dancer. I think it's all fun and games, so I really haven't seen Morgan dance besides trying to make us laugh. So I really can't grade it efficiently, but otherwise, it's cool. I like it.
You know, in the locker room, sometimes before the games, we'll have the music playing, and you can catch Morgan every once in a while. She wasn't very out there with her actions, but you can catch her in the corner sometimes doing her little do.
What are the other dimensions to Morgan that you see as a friend?
Morgan is so funny. Like, Morgan has her funny side. We know Morgan has that moment where she wants to be alone, but then Morgan can be funny, Morgan can be generous. Morgan's the one you're going to talk to when you have problems. Morgan is the one you confide in, out of nobody else.
What is it about Morgan that makes the two of you able to get along so well?
Morgan's just a great person. She's very easygoing, very easy to talk to, and just knows how to have fun. We could just be sitting, you know, in an empty gym like this talking and have a good time with each other. And I think, you know, like you said, that just comes with spending time with each other. We've been through good and bad times. We've always been there for each other. And so, I mean, she's like a sister to me.
So you come back your junior year, or well, actually sophomore year state title, junior year state title, everything's rolling along. You get to your senior year, and you've got another great team at Bolingbrook and another team that's expected to win a state championship. What is it like playing with that expectation that there's only one thing that constitutes a successful season, and that's a state title?
I mean, I think that we've had that all my years at Bolingbrook because that's always been our goal. I think that it just puts pressure on the team, but I think it's a good pressure. It makes you want to work hard because, you know, every night, whoever you're playing, they're going to come out and play their hardest, so you have to come out and play hard. But I don't think we can take it as something bad, as, we can only win one thing or it's a bad season. But, I mean, coming to Bolingbrook, that's what you're getting yourself into, and that's what you should expect of yourself and your team.
As you went through the recruiting process, and obviously from the time you were in 8th grade, I'm sure you started getting contact with people. The word was out, Morgan Tuck, Bolingbrook, this girl can really play. She's going to be, and at the time, the thought in Illinois was, this is the one to follow in Candace Parker's footsteps. How did you start to sort through that recruiting process? Because I'm sure at first it's very flattering that all these schools are contacting you, but then it had to be apparent pretty early on that there was a very limited amount of schools that, had the type of program that you wanted to take your talents to, and B, had the academic rigor you were looking for?
I think at the beginning, it's exciting because, you're thinking about college. When you start getting letters, you're just like, oh, I got from this school and this school. You're just excited. But I think as you go through high school, you start to really look at the school and see what schools that you really want to go to and the type of school. So I think, junior year into sophomore year, junior year is when I was really looking at schools, and beginning of my junior year, that's when I realized that I wanted to be at University of Connecticut.
What is similar from what you know of UConn to what you experienced playing in Bolingbrook?
I think what's similar is, winning programs. Bolingbrook, we're used to winning, and that's just kind of what we do. And at UConn, it's like the same thing. They're used to winning. They don't handle losing very well, same as Bolingbrook. And I think the coaching styles, both coaches are very intense, Coach Smith and Coach Ariema. So I think the next level is going to just be harder, clearly, but I think it's similar in some aspects.
What do you foresee as being the adjustments you'll have to make going from playing in high school to playing in college?
I think there's the intensity level of just always having to go hard. You can't take any breaks that you would take in high school. You can't get away with the bad habits that you have in high school. I think just, everybody's stronger, they're faster, they're bigger, they know the game better, and I think just every game is going to be a tough game.
As a grizzled veteran of 1 year of women's college basketball, what would you tell Morgan about, okay, here's what you got to be ready for, here's what it's going to be like, here is how it's different than what we were used to when we played at Bolingbrook?
I would say just have to be confident in yourself and knowing that you can compete with anybody in the country. Coach Smith did a great job at preparing us for, college practices, college workouts. And so I've talked to her since she's, enjoyed her first session of summer school. And, she said they're difficult, but it's nothing that we can't handle.
How hard did Ariel lean on you to go to Tennessee?
She hinted that she wanted me to go there, but, not any bad pressure. You better go there. We played together forever. I mean, she knew I needed to make my decision, and she wanted me to go to the best place for me.
Let's say that it's the Monday, because the women's pairings come out on a Monday.
Okay.
It's a Monday in March. Pairings come out, and you guys wouldn't play in the first round at all. It'd take a couple of rounds.
Right.
But all of a sudden, Tennessee and Connecticut start advancing through the tournament, and lo and behold, there's a Tennessee-UConn game, and your teammates come to you and say, I think I'm going to have to guard Morgan. What would you tell them about her as a player? And what do you have to do to try and defend her?
You got to stay in front of her. She's so versatile, so we would have to put a good-sized defender on her. Just stay in front. It's no way of stopping her. You just got to try to contain her.
When you're playing at Bolingbrook and you needed the ball to come back from Morgan, what would you call out?
Just ball.
Oh.
I think she kind of knew my voice. We were talking to her. She was getting double, triple, quadruple team.
Okay, so going along with my scenario here, you're in a game against UConn. It's getting late. It's tight. Would you call for the ball in that way just to see if she'd give it to you?
Of course. But it would have been a couple years since she's played with me, heard my voice. I don't know if I would be able to get away with that one.
Talk about how dominant her senior year was. She was so steady her senior year. Every night it was 20-some points, 10, 12, 13 rebounds. What was it like to watch a player be that consistent for a whole season?
It was just like a dad seeing their child grow up. She played against the best night in, night out. And just to see that senior year come together for her, chose to score 40 or 50 points, she could have had.
Your team's rolling along, your senior year, you're playing great. You look at the pairings that come out, and when did you guys realize that, because you're going to play Whitney Young every year, but this year, your senior year, all of a sudden you look at the brackets and it's going to be in a super sectional, it's not going to be downstate.
I don't remember exactly when we found out, but when we did, we were like, oh, we'd rather meet them in the championship, but it didn't. After that, we kind of it doesn't matter when we meet them, we just need to win. That's the goal, because if we win the super sectional, then we're on our track to still winning our state championship.
That game is going to go down as one of the epic high school contests in Illinois history, because of a 4 overtime game. You had the two top teams in the state. You had teams that had developed a rivalry unlike any other over the years. What was the intensity like in that game? You're in a full gym at Hinsdale Central, and one team is going to get to continue their season and probably win a state championship, and the other team goes home without even getting the chance to go downstate, and in your case, defend the title.
You know, it was actually a great atmosphere. I don't think I ever played in a gym where it was that loud, that packed, and you know, everyone was there just wanting to watch a good game.
Bolingbrook 4 out of 7. Whitney Young 1 out of 5.
Look at Tuck.
Make it 5 out of 8.
Great defense by Tuck.
Now Janae Thompson for the tie. Got it! Oh my! Well, here's Morgan Tuck. She can handle the basketball on the open floor. Comes down the lane, protects the basketball, and drives it in. Thompson across the timeline. How soon do you foul? You soon
Nobody stopped it. Nobody stopped it.
Morgan Tuck, her last shot as a high school basketball player will be tipped out of bounds, and that's it. The Whitney Young Dolphins, they stay undefeated. They run their record to 32-0, and they advance to the state semifinals.
I mean, it didn't come out how we wanted it to, but once I look back at it over some time, you kind of see that how great of a game it was, and that Whitney Young, they're a great team, and you know, I'm glad it was at least one of us who won it, you know, that we could keep it going of being in the state championship game. And I just think that when we look back, that is one of the greatest games that have been played. And I mean, right then, afterward, no, I didn't want to talk about the game, didn't want to think about it. But now I can think back, and you know, you think back in the season of all the things that we didn't do. We cut the corners, and if we wouldn't have done those things, we would have had a different outcome.
When you heard of the last game that Morgan got to play as a high schooler, which was an epic contest, we talked with her about it, and it was best against best, and it was an out-and-out just slugfest between the two top teams in the state of Illinois. Did you say anything to try and, you know, ease the pain of that, or did you not say anything to her at all about that?
No, I think actually that night I sent her a text message, you know, and just told her to keep her head up. It didn't end the way she wanted to, but she had a great career at Bolingbrook, and that it's going to take some time to get over that, but her future is bright ahead of her, and you know, she's going to have a great career at Connecticut.
What did you say to her as far as congratulations were concerned when you found out that she succeeded you as Illinois Miss Basketball?
Oh, I was happy for her, as always. Morgan's always been like a little sister to me, and you know, I told her at the beginning of the year that she needed to go out there and do what she does and be the leader for that basketball team.
You won Miss Basketball again as a senior, so you won Miss Basketball twice during your time in high school. When you go to stores, you're going to have a team full of Miss Basketballs.
Yeah, they're the best players in the country. I think that's another reason why I wanted to go there, is to try to compete with the best. And you know, everyone there, they won state championships, they've gotten Player of the Year awards, they've been McDonald's All-Americans, and when you get there, it doesn't matter. The coaches don't care, the other players don't care, everyone's there trying to, you know, play and win championships.
What are your goals academically for when you go to college?
I definitely want to be academic All-American, hopefully all 4 years. I mean, I want to try to do the best I can in all my classes, and just to make sure that, you know, I'm taking advantage of all the resources I have, and to make sure I stay on top of the grades.
And then as far as basketball is concerned, what are your goals?
I want to be All-American with that also, and I want to be able to make an impact on my team. I don't want to just, you know, just be along for the ride. I want to, you know, be a difference maker, and hopefully by the end I can, you know, play professionally.
What type of player do you think Morgan's going to be in college?
I honestly think that Morgan's going to have a great 4-year career there. I think that she's going to have the potential to be a 2-time All-American. That's the goal that I have for her. That's a lot of, you know, pressure, but I think that she's a kid that can get it done.
The summer after your senior year at college is going to be another Olympic year. WNBA, pro in Europe, all those things are out there if you'd like to go after them. Have you thought that far down the line?
Yeah, I definitely have. I mean, I would definitely love to be part of the Olympics. I think that's something that, you know, that doesn't happen every day, to be a part of an Olympic team, and they've been having also about the dream team, and to be on like a women's dream team, I think that would be like something like great that other people can't really overdo and stuff like that. WNBA, definitely want to be WNBA. I want to play overseas. I want to do everything I can in basketball.
30-year reunion of the Bolingbrook High School class of 2012. So you guys are all going to be almost 50 years old. When Morgan Tuck walks through the door, what will be the list of accomplishments behind her name, do you think?
I think Morgan's going to be able to go down the high, maybe win a couple NCAA championships. She's definitely, I believe Morgan has the potential to go overseas play, go to the WNBA. The sky's the limit for her. I can't really tell you what Morgan can do and can't do because Morgan has so much out there that she's able to accomplish.
What would you tell people about your experience of playing basketball with Morgan Tuck at Bolingbrook High School?
She was a winner. I can't remember being on a team with Morgan Tuck that we haven't won on. You know, she knows how to get it done when things are going well and things aren't going well, but she just always perseveres and she keeps a positive mindset in everything that she does and knows that she can be a winner and be number one at whatever it is that she does.
Let's fast forward to next October. You roll out the basketballs at Bolingbrook High School, and for the first time in 4 years, you don't have Morgan Tuck at practice. Any idea what that's going to be like?
Yes, I do. We're doing it now, and it's tough. I mean, great players make great coaches, and we're definitely going to miss her, and it's going to be different. It probably won't be as smooth, but we're going to definitely work hard, and we're definitely going to miss her a lot.
You've left a fabulous legacy at Bolingbrook High School. So now there's a new group of girls that have, you had a lot of seniors in that team last year, so it's really going to be almost a brand new team next year. If Coach Smith said to you, you know what, Morgan, I know you're going to be in town for a couple of days, I'd like you to come out and I'd like you to talk to the girls about what it means to be a Raider, what would you tell them?
I think I would tell them kind of what we were told when we were coming in is just to like be a part of the legacy. You want to go hard and you want to play your best for the girls that were here before you, and that those are the girls who, you know, got Bolingbrook on the map and started winning championships and, you know, gave Bolingbrook a name. So you don't want to be the team that, oh, Bolingbrook isn't what they used to be. You want to keep building on the name. You want to add more to it. And so if we won 3, they should win 4. Things like you should always try to add more to what was already here.
Thanks to Morgan, her family, friends, Coach Smith, and everyone at the BRAC for letting us get a closer look at Illinois' 2012 Ms. Basketball. With the end of August nearing, that means one thing. High school football is on the way. It's now time to let you know what exciting matchups will kick off Game of the Week's high school football season on CN100. Saturday, August 25th at noon, we'll take you to McHenry County as the Hurricanes of Marion Central Catholic host the Gators of Crystal Lake South. See how Hurricane quarterback Chris Treveler matches up against the always tough Gator defense. Sunday, August 26th at noon, it's a showdown of 2 perennial heavyweights as the Tigers of Wheaton-Warrenville South head to Glen Ellen to battle the Hilltoppers of Glenbard West. For additional air dates and times, visit our website at cn100.tv. Also, if you wish to contact us by email, you can do so at sports@cn100.tv. Well, that wraps up this special edition of Sports Weekly on CN100. Be sure to join us on Wednesday, August 29th at 6:30 p.m. for our first highlight show of the school year. For the rest of the Sports Weekly crew, I'm Perry Williams saying thanks so much for watching and so long, everybody.